Rap is pretty notorious for the many diss tracks that have appeared in the time it's been around. Now, I've already made a list on what were my favourite diss tracks of all time, but I noticed a lot of people commented on there asking me to make a video on what I thought were the 10 worst diss tracks of all time. Whether it's for the diss track having bad lines, being directionless, or just being made for a pointless reason, I've came up with 10 that I think were pretty bad. I hope you guys enjoy, and just remember that bad diss tracks are mostly a matter of opinion, so let me know your personal least favourite, I guess, worst diss tracks in the comments below. With all that being said, guys, this is CDTVProductions, and let's get right into this list. And at number 10, we have MC Hammer with Better Run Run.
Yo, yeah, I got a reason to doubt. If I knock on your door, would you come on out? If I knock on your door, that mean I'm knocking you out. If I knock on your door, boy, I bust you in your mouth.
Yep, that's right. The guy that made You Can't Touch This tried to diss Jay-Z. Now let me give you an idea of how much Hammer had to say about Jay. Each verse is literally 8 lines long, and there's only 2 verses. In the first verse, he just does the standard, oh, Jay-Z is a devil worshipper, Illuminati type thing, which isn't even really a diss-worthy subject. Then in the second verse, he brags that he would punch Jay-Z. That's as far as this goes. That's it. Although it would be unfair if I didn't mention that I kind of like the line where he says, yo Jay, I got reason to doubt, which is kind of as a reference to Jay's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. I guess if there's one compliment I have for this, it's that it goes slightly harder than You Can't Touch This. Take that as you will. And at number 9, we have Lil Wayne with Goulish.
Fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him. His head up his ass, I'ma have to headbutt him. Gut him, Lil Tunchi shit, weak stomach. It's me, LT, like when you heat butter.
Now we all know there are 2 sides to Lil Wayne's lyrics that are both equally prevalent. There is the amazing punchline Wayne, and then there's the oh my god, why the fuck would you say that punchline Wayne? Unfortunately, he had more of his latter style on this one. It kicks off with the pretty infamously bad line, fuck Pusha T and anybody that love him, his head up his ass, I'ma have to headbutt him. That was just the worst possible way this could have started. The track is only 1 minute long, and honestly, if it wasn't for that first line, I wouldn't have really known that this was a diss track. It's a shame, because this song had a great beat that was honestly kinda wasted in a track like this. And at number 8, we have Tim Dog with Fuck Compton.
You really think that you can rhyme? Well, come and get some of this loaded Tech 9. Shots to cold gunning. And you'll really be 100 miles and running. You wanna play, go ride in a sleigh.
Now this diss was mainly targeted at the members of NWA. Or at least that's what it's supposed to be, as the title of it implies, you know, it's dissing people from Compton. But honestly, I think Tim Dog went a bit too literal with this, and it sounds at some points like he's literally dissing Compton, like Compton the city, not people from there. It's quite hilarious. And then when he does get to insulting the rappers themselves, he really uses the most basic insults you can think of. How does he diss Ice Cube? He says he'll crush him. Get it? Because you can crush ice? The lines on here never really surpass average, and then at the end of the third verse, he just shits out random rhymes as if it's impressive, when really it just sounds random and senseless. You kinda like this whole track. And at number 7, we have Eminem with Big Weenie.
Now why did they make you who? Pippity caca poo poo. Psych, I'm kidding, I just wanted to see if you're still listening. Okay, now I need your undivided attention. Sir, I have a question. Why do I always sense this?
Now Eminem has quite the reputation with diss tracks. He could destroy someone's entire career with just one diss track, so it's quite confusing to me as to why this track was made. Not only was this a bad diss track aimed at the owner of the source, Benzino, but he made sure we heard it by putting it on his album Encore, and it's probably one of the worst Eminem diss tracks ever made. I don't know why he doesn't put like some of his amazing disses on his albums, and instead, he just seems to draw attention to some of the weaker ones. Eminem was really drugged up when he made Encore, but this track just sounds so disjointed and improvised. Even if there is a purpose for the childish British sound to this track. It doesn't sound good at all. Eminem doesn't even sound interested in rapping here, to be honest, and there are literally 0 lines that stand out as diss-worthy here. It's just surprisingly weak coming from Eminem overall, and has so many self-referential lines in an attempt at humor. This has to be my least favourite Eminem diss by far. And now at number 6, we have a diss track aimed at Eminem. We have Nick Cannon with I'm a Slick Rick.
But you was scared of the trouble, more security than a pole. While you was in your bubble, I was rolling dolo. Only time your face is in the streets is them signs for promo. Oh no, there's been a mistake.
Now, let me just paint a little scenario for you guys. Just imagine this, okay? You just got dissed by pretty much the most popular rapper on the planet. And millions of people have heard him diss not only you, but also quite savagely diss your wife as well. Obviously, your move would be to fire back with a diss of your own, right? So you'd want to choose a really good beat to hit back on, to make sure your track sounds as hard-hitting as possible. So of course, you decide to hit back over the fucking beat for Teach Me How to Fucking Dougie. Why, Nick Cannon? Why? Why would you diss back one of the most respected rappers in the world over a beat for a song that's only purpose was to start a dance trend to get popular? There were honestly no diss lines here that shocked me or had me taken aback. He even criticised Eminem for having security guards. Yeah, because wanting to be safe when you're famous is so stupid, Nick Cannon. He also says he has erectile dysfunction, and that's about as deep as this track goes. Just a weak as fuck track, to be honest. And at number 5, we have Lil Kim with Black Friday.
Who the fuck want war? FedEx beef straight to your front door. It'll be a murder scene. I'm turning Pink Friday to Friday the 13th.
There was like one line on here that I thought was slightly above average, and that was, I'll turn Pink Friday into Friday the 13th. And I guess Lil Kim seems to think she's more relevant than Nicki Minaj, or seems to think that she's still even relevant nowadays. Now, I'm not saying Lil Kim was never relevant, but at this current point in time, Nicki Minaj has sold double the amount of singles Lil Kim has. And that's like, that is a big double. It's not like, 15,000 to 30,000 double. It is 30 million to 60 million double in sales. By the way, this isn't me defending Nicki Minaj. I think she's fucking terrible. I'm just deconstructing this and stating the facts. Also, one of Kim's other main points on here is that Nicki Minaj is a slutty person, but I honestly don't think that's really a diss, since that is the persona that Nicki Minaj is trying to portray. Calling her a hoe isn't really an insult because that is her character as a rapper. Whether she's like that in real life or not doesn't matter. As a rapper, that's who she tries to portray. As a plus side, I really like the beat for this one. Not much else I can say about it though. And at number 4, we have Canibus with J. Clone.
I get the most righteous, exhaling nitrous on the night watch shift. The real watchman on some hip hop shit. Everyone knows Cole, aka Jermaine Clone, known for tight styling and stereotype.
This song, to be honest, was a failure right off the bat. The main reason why I chose this one was actually just because of the whole stupid reasoning behind why the beef started. J. Cole actually praised Canibus in an interview, saying that Canibus was one of his favourite rappers and he used to hang his raps on his walls. So Canibus dissed him for it. Apparently his reasoning was that if J. Cole respected him so much, he should have reached out to Canibus for a collab. So Canibus dissed J. Cole. Perfectly logical, right? As for the track itself, it's really nothing special. Canibus's verse just makes it sound as if he was desperate to get J. Cole on a track with him, and he only really disses him in the second half of the verse. The first half is really just brag raps. Also, if that's not enough, Canibus fucking apologized for making this. He has had a lot of beefs, but this was definitely the worst one for him, just because of how stupid it made him look. And at number 3, we have ICP with Slim Anus.
The butt sniffer. Hi kids, do you like anus? I let Dr. Dre fill on my butt for a chance to be famous. Wanna copy me and do exactly like I did? Yeah. Try Sid, get your butt pumped out like I did.
This track was awful and just really childish in its sense of humour. It honestly sounded more in line with something you'd find on a really kind of amateur YouTube parody than on a professionally made diss track. See, what they did was, the geniuses that they are, took the song from Eminem, My Name Is, and changed a few words here and there to make Eminem sound like he was saying gay stuff on that track. That's what they did. For example, they take the line, "Am I coming or going? I can barely decide. I just drank a pint of vodka. Dare me to drive?" to "I just drank a pint of semen. Dare me to drive." Really intelligent, well thought out lines, aren't they? It also sounds really cheap because they play parts of the actual My Name Is song and then punch in whenever they want to make one of their classy jokes. It is literally playground level insults, and that's not what you come with when you want to win a beef. Also, Eminem kinda destroyed this entire track with just one line on the song Marshall Mathers. And at number 2, we have Soulja Boy with the aptly titled Fuck Bow Wow.
What the fuck was you thinking? You know damn well you ain't gon' go on no thinking. You guess fuck, bro, you was sweeter than a lemon, man. LB doorstep a little.
Oof, you know it's going to be an incredible diss track when the main insult you can think of is just saying fuck you to the other rapper in the beef. Magnificent. Soulja Boy really doesn't have the lyrical ability to diss other people, and the verses here are all just 8 bars long. Most of his insults were that Bow Wow isn't rich, and that's pretty much it. It is so hard to talk about this track because it's literally void of anything that would make it a decent track. This is shit that could be written literally within a minute. If you haven't heard it yet, let me sum it up for you. The basic message of this diss song is, fuck Bow Wow, he's a bitch, he's gay, and he's not rich. Which is never really a valid diss unless you have a creative way to say it. But it's Soulja Boy, you can't expect him to be creative. And he proved with this that he should never attempt to diss someone again because he really just does not have the ability to do so. And at our coveted number 1 spot, we have Nicki Minaj with Stupid Ho. What's even worse than a diss track with awful lines? What's even worse than a diss track that just completely missed the point? What is worse than all of that is a diss track that is just insufferable to listen to. That beat, combined with Nicki's voice on here, is just honestly torturous. That whoop sound on the beat sounds awful, and the drum pattern is so random and off-putting. The lyrics are awful, and there's even one part where she drags out the word would for like 4 bars, and it just, oh my god, it sounds terrible. If the Nicki Minaj and Lil Kim beef wasn't just like stupid in the first place, I would have said Nicki Minaj immediately lost by putting out a track as awful as this shit in an attempt to diss. I don't know what the hell she was thinking with this, but this is whacker than anything else on this list. It honestly feels like Nicki is dissing herself with this one. Also, it really doesn't carry any weight, like I said before, when someone like Nicki Minaj, who constantly portrays herself as slutty, calls someone else a stupid hoe. And that is why this takes my number 1 spot as the worst diss track that I have heard. Well guys, that's going to be it for the video today. I hope you guys all really enjoyed this video. It should have been out yesterday. I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, all the new subscribers, but my upload schedule is usually Tuesday and Friday, and occasionally Sunday if I can fit that in. But I did not have the time to yesterday. I got home from school and just slept until 9 PM. That's just more to do with the fatigue issues I've been having again. So I'm sorry about that. I missed the upload yesterday, but I don't think it will matter too much, seeing as this video is still out. You know, it's still 2 uploads a week no matter what. And not a lot of you know my upload schedule anyway, so it's not too big of a disappointment really. So with that being said guys, please follow me on my Twitter, Snapchat and Instagram at CDTVProductions if you want to get in touch with me more directly or just see what I'm up to sometimes. And as always, big shout out to all my Patreon supporters, and those are Patrick Guzman, Anders Olesen, NLB Brazzy, Kyle Taylor, Rob Jarvis, Glenn Newman, Charlie Taylor and Dane Kirkpatrick. Thank you so much for the support guys, and I really do appreciate it. Well, I think that's all I've got to say for today guys, and please leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will hopefully see you guys all in the next part. This is CDTV Productions, signing out.